Hello everybody, wee Paddy from across the Shuck again with another wee video for you today. I was sitting in the front room today, I haven't left the house, and I was sitting thinking, what can I make a wee video on? And today I've been actually sorting through my little small bits of E.D.C items. I have a stack. I love E.D.C. I love building up separate wee E.D.C kits for where I'm going, what the climate is. So I have staple ones that I'll have with me every day, which is knives. I have two knives, a large and a small. I have at least two torches. I'll have fire lighting equipment to start a fire. I'll have fire lighting like cotton ball and Vaseline to keep a fire going, and I'll have a piece of string long enough that I can put a tarp up or put a coat up, whatever I got on. And if I've got them, then I'm all right. I can work through anything, I believe. Now, when I put to the test, it could be a different thing. But they're my main things. As long as I have them, I'm all right. But I have a lot of other little things. And I love having the choice of different wee knives. For secondary knives, I'll always have a big knife with me no matter what. But I always have a secondary knife as well. But I'm starting to build up a wee selection of smaller knives that I like and enjoy. And so I thought today I'll just do a run through. I'm not going into any details. There's a couple of wee things you mightn't have seen before. If anybody's got any questions, we'll go down below, ask me a question, I'll give you the answer to them. So I'm going to start, because we're a knife channel, I'm going to start with knives. Not just a knife channel, but for me, we don't have guns over here. Well, we do have guns over here. Sadly, they're all on the illegal side. We're not allowed to carry a weapon. If I could, I would, without a doubt. I'm a serviceman, or an ex-serviceman. I believe in weapons, but we can't, so there's no point talking about it. I can't have weapons, but I can have knives. There is restrictions that I have to stick to, of course. Sometimes I'm not as good as other people, but there we go. So, like for instance, today my big knife today is my Spyderco Delica. That's what I'm carrying as my big knife today, because I'm just around the house. So out the back garden with the dog. That's as far as I've went. So that's in my pocket, and I'll put it away. So what I have then is I have choices. I like to have choices of little secondary knives. I don't know what it is. Because I'm a knife guy and I love having different knives. I love changing my big knife every day, and I love changing the wee ones out. So here's just an example of a few. There's the old standard favourite is the Spyderco Ladybug, which I had given to my wife and she's give back to me now. And I'll explain that later on. But it's your industry standard for a small knife. Sal himself carried it more than the other knife that he had, so we'll put that up there. This is another one of my wee favourite ones. This is the wee flick knife that I showed the other week. It's just a wee small one. I say I'm not going to go into details. If you want information on any of them, please give me a shout. There's my little Swiss one with a small blade, but it's got a pair of scissors, it's got tweezers, it's got a toothpick, so it's handy to have if I just want that. And then this is the reason why my wife gave me my Spyderco back. And this is quite funny. This sort of shows that sometimes money or the price of something isn't always the be all and end all. She had the Spyderco bug over here. That cost me about £40. I ordered this little knife to go into my secondary carry. It's a San Remo, wee small San Remo knife. It's not that much bigger than the Ladybug, but it is just a little bit bigger. There's a little bit of a blade difference. I'm going to do a review on this because it's a smashing. It's got Sandvik steel in it. It's a great wee knife, and my wife prefers it to the Ladybug because it's a liner lock. It's easy for her to open and close. So there we go. Yeah, you just never know who's going to like what. But there's the knives that I've got. There's just a selection of knives. And that is our joy of being able to go out and pick different knives and change out every day. To me, it's not only just fun, it keeps it fresh. Because if you get bored doing E.D.C, you just stop. So here we go. Torches is the next thing. Always have at least two torches. It'll be one bigger torch, which is in my coat pocket, and usually one or two of these now. We through night that's a marvellous toy. It runs on one AAA battery. I always carry it. If I've got that with me, I'll always carry a spare battery just in case. Um, this is my other little one, which is charged by my telephone cable, USB. Always check it. On a Friday, I'll always check, and I charge all my little ones up. It's just charged on my phone cable. And this is another one. This is a Nightcore tube, which, I mean, all these are reasonably priced. There's nothing dear here that I've got. These are things that anybody can have. I mean, this little one cost about £8. The Night Tube one cost about £8, which is $10, say. I see they've now got replicas on AliExpress, which are, last night I was on, they look exactly the same as this, just without the name on it, and they were £2.67. USB chargeable. I'm going to get one eventually just to see what they work like, but I mean, that's a Nightcore. Sometimes you have to invest, maybe. These two I know will work, and they're good brands, and I know they work. The rest you can just juggle in between. As long as you've got two of something, two is one and one is none, if you know what I mean. It's an old saying in bushcraft. I don't know if it's the same in the knives and guns. So that's my knives. That's my torches. And the other thing I'll always carry is fire. So I'll either have the bog standard little Bic lighter, or I've got a ferro rod, and I'll show you where I keep these. And I also have one of my little special things from my bushcraft days. I have a whole stack of these. It's just cotton ball soaked in Vaseline and a bit of fresh cotton ball on the top. It's in a large children's straw, which is secured at each edge, just melt it down at each edge, so it's waterproof and it can stay there for years. But that will light me a large, two fires at least anyway, once I open it. I always carry a bit of, I'm like a little boy, I carry a bit of string. That is kite string, and that holds up. I can tie that between two trees and put the coat over the top of it. I want to keep the rain off, or if I find a bit of plastic sheeting, I can make a tarp shelter. So I have that with me, and then I have a little pill box with headache tablets and a couple of pills that I would have to carry with me. So these are not necessary. They're not necessary, but I wouldn't go out without my lighter, and I very rarely would go out without this either. Bit of string, always handy to have a bit of string, depending where you are and what you have to do. Now I'm going to go into wee things that, depending on where I'm going, I will take them. If I'm going into the forest, or I'm going somewhere that I'm away from humans that are not going to be right beside me, I might have to need attention by calling, rather if my phone breaks or whatever. I carry a whistle, really loud whistle, by the way. I also carry a little pen. This is one of these little extendable pens, and I have a Write in the Rain book. But in my back pocket, where I carry plasters, I haven't got them down here. In my back pocket where I carry plasters, I better show you now, because there you are. There's me going to be caught out, but, well, I'll not be caught out, but there we go. In the back pocket, I always have a little bit of paper that I can write on. It's Write in the Rain, and with my plasters and antiseptic wipe. Always carry them in my back pocket. And one of my newest little tools, which I have used more than I ever thought I would ever use, is this little thing that I got for under £3 on, I think it was AliExpress I got it. It's a little pair of pliers with a screwdriver, a hex and a flathead on either side of it. It folds up like that. It goes in my little watch pocket with my bit of string, and it just stays there. I change it from jeans to jeans as a change jeans. That comes with me. So that I have, it's amazing how often I've used that. Amazing how often I've used it. So the last little toy that I carry about with me, sadly in my pocket now when I'm going out as well. I have one that I have in the house, and I have a spinner that goes, a little small one that goes with me when I'm going out. So as you can see, this to me, this is fun, building up what I'm going to take for each day. I have the set things that I will take, and they just go. They're sitting ready every day. They go out with me. The other ones I can mix and match depending on what I'm going to do for the day, and I can either add or take away from. Another thing, like say I'm going to a funeral, or I'm going somewhere where I'm dressed up and I've got a shirt and a pair of slacks. I can't put all this in a shirt and a pair of slacks. So one of these, it's the Swiss card. and it's got a little knife on it, which I have sharpened. It's only a small knife. It's not gonna. It'll cut a bit of string off the back of your trousers. There's a pair of scissors in it. There's tweezers. There's toothpicks. There's a wee pen in it. I just throw that in my, look how thin that is. It's only a couple of millimeters thick. And there's a wee ruler on the side. I just throw that and I'll throw it in my inside pocket of my jacket, and it gives me some sort of function. There's a bit there to do. I like having just that choice of having things to do. So, what I wanted to show you was a lot of this stuff I don't carry on my person as such. The likes of string and this wee thing here go in my wee small pocket, but the likes of lighters, my whistle, my tablets, the ferro rod go in this wee pouch here. This is a wee $3 pouch, $4 pouch that you get off AliExpress, and I keep my keys in it. This is my house keys, and that are inside here. They're attached to it, but the rest just goes in round it, closes up, and goes in my coat pocket or goes in my trouser pocket. It's not that thick. There's my thumb. It's a thumb thickness when I've got everything in it. It just goes in my pocket. So that's where I carry the little spare bits. That's the bit that I enjoy putting different things in for what I'm going to do. Whether I'm going bushcrafting for the day, whether I'm going for a walk down by the sea, I'll always take different sorts of stuff with me. So I hope that wasn't too bad. I hope that wasn't too much. But it's more for, I suppose, people who I think you can get in a rut, but also there's new people around and they're not sure what they can do. What I would say is have fun. This is just a jumble of stuff. I've just quickly thrown it on the table, but it's a jumble of stuff that you're prepared for. It's the Boy Scout motto, isn't it? Be prepared. And if you haven't got the stuff, you're not prepared. I love being prepared. And the amount of times I use these wee bits of stuff, or I'll bring a wee bit of something out that my wife thinks, why have you got that on you? And then 2 or 3 weeks down the line, we need it. And she says, oh gosh, that's why you've got it on you. And the amount of times that has been said to me is unreal. From people as, you've got what? What, you carry that? I get that all the time. So, there we go, folks. That's it. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't go on too much. Take care. All the best from your wee Paddy. Bye.